Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Angelina August Winarno from class 11 TAV1, absent 5. I will discuss question number 13.1. How to handle an oil spill in the workshop K3LH. Purpose: to ensure the safety of all students and staff and prevent environmental contamination when an oil spill occurs in a workshop. Materials: net, absorbent material, sand, salt or commercial oil absorb. Spill containment tools: plastic barriers or absorbent pads. Protective gloves, goggles and safety shoes. Wash dispose bags or containers, cleaning detergent and mop. Warning: sink or furnace. Step: alert and secure the area. Immediately warn everyone in the workshop about the spill. Place warning signs or cones around the area to prevent a change. Wear personal protective equipment (PPE). Put on clothes, goggles and safety shoes before approaching the spill to avoid contact with oil. Contain the spill: use plastic bars, absorb pads, or sand to prevent the oil from spreading further over the entire affected area. Absorb the oil: sprinkle absorb material, salt, sand or commercial absorb over the spill. Let it absorb the oil completely. Collect the contaminated material. Sweep up the used absorbent. Place it in a waste disposable bag or container. Make sure the container is sealed to prevent leak. Clean the area. Wash the floor with detergent and water to remove any remaining oil residue. Use a mop and allow the area to dry completely. Dispose of waste products. Dispose of the contaminated absorbed material according to local environmental regulation. Never pour oil down drains or sink. Report and record an incidents. Inform the teacher or supervisor about the spill and record the incidents in the workshop safety log. This helps prevent future incidents. Tips: always keep absorbent material and PPE available in the workshop for emergency. Never leave an oil spill unattended. Regularly inspect the workshop for potential hazard to prevent spill. Question: while working in the vocalization workshop, a student accidentally spilled oil in the floor, and several classmates are still nearby performing their tasks. Considering the safety guidelines for handling oil spills, which action should be taken first to prevent immediate accidents and ensure that no one slips or gets exposed to the oil while the area is being managed? A. Ignore the spill temporarily, continue your own work, and plan to address it after the workshop session is complete. B. Alert all students and staff immediately. Place warning signs or furnace around the spill to coordinate of the area and prevent anyone from entering until the spill is secured. C. Put on gloves and goggles, inform only a few neighbor classmates, and continue with your own text while waiting for supervision. They begin covering the spill partially with absorbed material while leaving the sorting area unmarked, assuming others will notice and avoid it. The answer is B. Alert all students and staff immediately. Place warning signs or cones around the spill to cordon off the area and prevent anyone from entering until the spill is cured. Because the first step is to alert everyone and secure the area. Oil is slippery and can cause accidents. Warning others and placing signs prevent people from getting hurt before the spill is cleaned. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Claudia Shana Quinalena. I'm from 11th FV1. Here I will discuss the question, answer, and directions. Jadi, saya di sini akan membahas tentang pertanyaan, jawaban, dan alasan. Question number 28. Read the situation carefully during an English class. Students were extended to debate the topic. Should vocational students have longer workshop hours? Before starting, the teacher remind everyone to follow debate rules. 1. Wait for your turn, respect other speakers, and ask logical argument. However, several students from the affirmative team ignored these guidelines. As soon as the debate began, Dimas and his friends spoke without the moderator's signal, interrupted the opposing team, and raised their voice whenever they felt challenged. Instead of giving clear reason or evidence, some students made personal comments that had nothing to do with the topic. This caused the debate to become noisy and unorganized. And the negative team struggled to present their point. The teacher quickly stopped the activity and explained that the cause happened because important debate rules were broken, interrupting others, speaking emotionally, and failing to provide logical argument. She reminded them that debate is about respectful communication, not about arguing loudly. Realizing their mistake, the students apologized and restart the session. This time, they waited for their turn, listened carefully, and supported their argument with example. The class learned that following debate rules help create a fair and meaningful discussion for everyone. Question: Imagine you are the moderator of this debate based on the problem that occurred in the story, such as students interrupting and making unrelated personal comment. Which strategies would be most effective to ensure that the debate runs smoothly and participants provide logical, well-supported argument? A. Allow students to speak freely at the start. Make each team speak in turn, and ask them to give example only when interrupted. B. Remind students of the rules at the start. Allow each team to speak freely, and let them provide example only if they wish. C. Remind students of the rules at the start. Make sure each team speak in turn, and ask them to give clear example or evidence for their point. D. Allow students to speak freely at the start. Ignore the order of turns, and remind them to give example only at the end of the debate. Di sini saya akan membacakan terjemahan dari soal dan jawaban di atas. Bacalah situasi berikut dengan seksama. Selama pelajaran bahasa Inggris, para siswa diberi tugas untuk berdebat dengan topik, haruskah siswa SMK memiliki jam praktik yang lebih lama? Nah, sebelum memulai, guru mengingatkan semua orang untuk mengikuti aturan debat, menunggu giliran, menghormati pembicara lain, dan menggunakan argumen yang logis. Namun, beberapa siswa dari tim afirmatif mengabaikan pedoman tersebut. Begitu debat dimulai, Dimas dan teman-temannya berbicara tanpa isyarat dari moderator, menyela tim lawan, dan meninggalkan suara ketika merasa ditantang. Alih-alih memberikan alasan atau bukti yang jelas, beberapa siswa membuat komentar pribadi yang tidak berhubungan dengan topik. Hal ini menyebabkan debat menjadi gaduh dan tidak teratur, sehingga tim negatif kesulitan menyampaikan pendapat mereka. Guru segera menghentikan kegiatan tersebut dan menjelaskan bahwa kekacauan terjadi karena aturan penting dalam debat dilanggar, menyela orang lain, berbicara secara emosional, dan tidak memberikan argumen yang logis. Ia mengingatkan bahwa debat adalah tentang komunikasi yang saling menghormati, bukan tentang beradu suara yang keras. Menyadari kesalahan mereka, para siswa meminta maaf dan memulai kembali sesi debat. Kali ini, mereka menunggu giliran, mendengarkan dengan seksama, dan mendukung argumen mereka dengan contoh. Kelas pun belajar bahwa mengikuti aturan debat membantu menciptakan diskusi yang adil dan bermakna bagi semua orang. Pertanyaannya, bayangkan kamu adalah moderator dalam debat tersebut. Berdasarkan masalah yang terjadi dalam cerita, seperti siswa yang menyela dan membuat komentar pribadi yang tidak relevan, strategi manakah yang paling efektif untuk memastikan debat berjalan lancar dan para peserta memberikan argumen yang logis serta didukung dengan baik? A. Membiarkan siswa berbicara bebas di awal, membuat setiap tim berbicara secara bergiliran, dan meminta mereka memberikan contoh hanya ketika disela. B. Mengingatkan siswa tentang aturan di awal, memberikan setiap tim berbicara bebas, dan membiarkan mereka memberikan contoh hanya jika mereka mau. C. Mengingatkan siswa tentang aturan di awal, memastikan setiap tim berbicara secara bergiliran, dan meminta mereka memberikan contoh atau bukti yang jelas untuk mendukung pendapat mereka. D. Membiarkan siswa berbicara bebas di awal, mengabaikan urutan giliran, dan mengingatkan mereka untuk memberikan contoh hanya di akhir debat. Jawabannya adalah C. Kenapa jawabannya C? Karena dari teks tersebut, siswa menyela dan tidak menunggu giliran, siswa berbicara emosional, argumen mereka tidak didukung contoh atau bukti, dan debat menjadi tidak teratur dan tidak adil. Nah, kenapa pilihan ini paling tepat? Bahwa kita mengingatkan aturan di awal, berbicara secara bergiliran, dan minta contoh atau bukti yang jelas. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm Vindi Claudia Katu. Absent number 16, I will explain on number 29. The question, broke out to learning English successful for vocational student purpose. The forget vocational student in improve the English skill effectively for academic and workplace purpose. Material need notebook and pen, English dictionary or translation app, Excel to English docs, video or online learning material, audio device for listening practice, a study timetable, steps, set clear goals. Device what you want to achieve in English, for explain learning vocabulary, for technical terms, improve speaking skill or understanding instructional in English, write down your goals clearly, create a study schedule, allocate specific time each day or week for English practice. Make sure the schedule is realistic and fits around your vocational training. Consistent practice is more effective than long, irregular sessions. Focus on vocabulary and grammar. Learning the words, the present, regular, expressive thoughts related to your vocational field. Practice using grammar correctly in sentence. Write the down explains in your notebook. Practice listen and speaking. Listen to English audio material, search a video, podcast, or instructions in your phrase. Report what you heard. Practice pronunciations and try to speak English with friends, teacher, or online language partner. Read the understand English materials. Read technical manual instructions or short stories in English. Highlight for you do not understand. Check their meanings and practice using them in sentence related to your vocational work. Writing in English regular. Keep a journal. Writing instruction reports or summaries in English. This put reports or summaries in English. This help you practice spelling, structure, and using vocabulary correctly. Seek feedback and greet them. Your teacher, classmates, or online tutor to check your speaking and reading. Crowd you makers and apply the feedback in your practice. Review and practice consistently. Regularly review what you have learned. Report exercises. Revise vocabulary. Test yourself to make sure your English skill improves steadily. Tips. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Learning comes for practice. Uses English in daily life. Have never possible such a living tools explaining step in your vocational text. Combine listen, speaking, reading, and writing for division learning. The question: you are junior network technician and startup company. Your much square and your router, the installation manual, the troubleshooting grid are available only in English and uses my technology terms. You need to accessibility field, configure the router, quick the whiteout or error. Based on the English learning you have, which combination of the three steps is the most strategic and goal-oriented to ensure your accurately understand the technical manual and minimize the risk of configuration error caused by language misinterpretation. A. Set clear goals. Read down goals in study timetable. Practice listen and speaking word your turn configuration video and reading in English regular. Read summaries of your daily text. B. Focus on vocabulary and grammar, not new technical terms like subnet mix. Read and understand English materials. Read the manual and light. Know doors and seek feedback and greet dash as the senior technician to review your understanding of critical manual text. C. Create a study schedule. Set a 30 minutes study time every evening. The clear goals target passing an English text and review and practice consistently. Review all vocabulary. D. Practice listen and speaking. Try this discussion use with colleagues with in English regular. Keep a daily journal in English and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Keep trying configuration even if unsure about the manual. The correct answer to the question above is B. Alasannya mengapa B merupakan kombinasi langkah-langkah yang paling strategis untuk situasi tersebut. Soal meminta solusi untuk memahami manual, teknik router atau yang rumit dan meminimalkan risiko kesalahan konfigurasi. Pilihan B secara langsung menangani hambatan tersebut melalui langkah-langkah berikut. Focus on vocabulary and grammar. Langkah-langkah ini penting karena Anda perlu mencatat istilah teknis baru seperti business marks agar tidak salah mengartikan perintah dalam manual. Read and understand English materials. Anda diinstruksikan untuk membaca manual dan menandai kata-kata sulit untuk dipahami maknanya, yang merupakan cara paling efektif untuk memahami instruksi tertulis yang ada. Set feedback and guidance. Meminta teknisi senior untuk meninjau pemahaman Anda sebelum melakukan konfigurasi adalah alasan paling aman untuk memastikan tidak ada misinterpretasi yang berujung pada kesalahan sistem. That's all from me. Thank you.
Question number 30. Approach to learn English successfully for vocation students. Purpose to guide vocation students in importing this English skill effectively for academic and workshop purpose. Material needs: notebook and pen, English dictionary or translation app, access to English books, videos or online learning materials, audio device for listening protection, a study timetable. Step 9. Set clear goals. Decide what you want to achieve in English. For example, learning vocabulary for fictional terms, improving speaking English, or understanding structure in English. Write down your goals clearly. 10. Clear a student schedule. Allocate specific time each day or week for English projects. Make sure the schedule is realistic and fits around your vocation training. Consistent practice is more effective than long, irregular session. 11. Focus on vocabulary and grammar. Learning new words and process regularly, especially those related to your vocation. 5. Practice using grammar correctly in sentences. Write down example in your notebook. 12. Practice listening and speaking. Listen to English audio materials, such as video, podcast, or instruction in your 5. Repeat what you hear. Practice pronunciation and try to speak English with friends, teacher, or online language partner. 13. Read and understand English materials. Read technical manuals, instructions, or short stories in English. Highlight words you do not understand, check these meanings, and practice use them in sentences related to your vocalization work. 14. Write in English regularly. Keep a journal. Write illustrations, reports, and summaries in English. This helps you project spelling, sentence structure, and using vocabulary correctly. 15. Seek feedback and guidance. Ask your teacher, classmates, or online tutorials to check your speaking and writing. Correct your mistake and apply the feedback in your next practice. 16. Review and practice consistently. Regularly review what you have learned, repeat etc. Revise vocabulary and test yourself to make sure your English skill improves constantly. Tips: don't be afraid of making mistakes. Learning comes from practice. Use English in daily life whenever possible, such as labeling thoughts and explaining steps your vocalization takes. Combine listening, speaking, reading, and writing for balanced learning. Answer number 30. Question: according to the guide, how to learn English successfully for vocalization students, which of the following activity is specifically mentioned in the step page listening and speaking? A. Reading reports or summaries in English. B. Highlighting words you do not understand in technical manuals. C. Allocating a specific time each day for pastime. D. Repeating what you hear, repeating pronunciation, and trying to speak English. Answer is number 30. D. Repeating what you hear, practicing pronunciation, and trying to speak English. Karena pertanyaannya, apa aktivitas yang disebutkan pada langkah practice listening and speaking? Di bagian D itu menyarankan untuk mendengarkan materi audio, lalu mengulang apa yang didengar, melatih mengucapkan, dan mencoba berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris. Sedangkan pada bagian A, B, dan C menunjuk pada langkah-langkah berbeda seperti menulis, membaca manual, dan mengatur jadwal. Nomor 12 lebih tepat karena disebutkan secara spesifik aktivitas yang harus kita lakukan. Thank you.